Popular YouTuber accused of kidnapping 2 women, CoreySSG. Let's see what it's hitting for.
A popular YouTuber once known for his family vlogging.
Look, come there. Come on. Can't get over here. My car was not ready.
Is now accused of kidnapping 2 women. But the story doesn't end there. Authorities say the Texas-based content creator fled the United States by booking a one-way ticket and hopping on a nearly 20-hour flight all the way to the Middle East. So how did a man with millions of social media followers end up charged with aggravated kidnapping? Well, it all began on November 22nd. That's when a woman exchanged numbers with 26-year-old Corey Pritchett Jr. The woman told authorities the following day she and another woman met up with Pritchett. They did some pretty harmless activities like working out, ATV riding, then bowling. But it was at the bowling alley where things took an intense turn. While there, the 2 women felt like something was off when Pritchett and his 2 friends started acting strange. The women told police they were repeatedly looking around, seemed on edge, and were acting suspicious. The unnamed women told police they learned Pritchett and his friends were having issues with another group that was there at the bowling alley. So they reportedly told Pritchett if he continued acting that way, he should just leave with his friends. Pritchett in turn stepped out with his friends, but never returned, leaving the women behind. After some time, the women texted him because they left their stuff in his car. So he asked them to meet at the H-E-B grocery store parking lot to get their stuff back. When the 2 women showed up, he switched gears and offered to drive them home, and they said yes. But according to the women, Pritchett flipped the script once again.
How the hell did they get there if they need a ride home? They took an Uber up there?
Grocery store parking lot to get their stuff back. When the 2 women showed up, he switched gears and offered to drive them home.
He switched gears. What does that mean?
And they said yes. But according to the women, Pritchett flipped the script once again. During that drive, he reportedly began acting erratically and skipped.
Hold on. So he offered.
Showed up, he switched gears and offered to drive them home, and they said yes. But according to the women, Pritchett flipped the script once again. During that drive, he reportedly began acting erratically and skipped what was supposed to be the.
He flipped, but they needed a ride. They got up there with no ride to get back. They paid for the Uber to get there, but not to get back.
Again, during that drive, he reportedly began acting erratically and skipped what was supposed to be the route to drop them off. The women say Pritchett claimed someone was after him and started making phone calls. Then Pritchett began driving at high speeds, going past 100 miles per hour. The women claim he pulled out a gold-colored handgun and started waving it around the sunroof while still driving erratically fast, then began firing off rounds out of the car window. One of the women reportedly told Pritchett to take her back to her apartment and try to calm him down by asking him to pray with them. But he still continued driving crazy fast down the I-10 highway. Pritchett then made a video call to a woman reportedly saved in his phone under future wife. He asked the woman on the call, "If I had the perfect opportunity and was in the middle of nowhere where no one could hear them scream, should I just go ahead and do it?" And the woman on the line reportedly responded, yes.
Reportedly,
for the woman in Pritchett's car.
Is that fucking documented? Y'all have recording of the phone call of that nigga saying that? Or is this just he said, she said shit? Because y'all can get that, can't y'all? I mean, they usually be coming out with like a 911 operator phone calls and shit, not so much person to person, you know.
Though, they were seemingly in fear of their lives. The women told police that Pritchett told them, "I'm gonna F y'all and then kill y'all." By this point, the women said they were texting one another during all of this, but authorities say Pritchett then started pointing the gun at them and took their phones away so they couldn't communicate with each other. According to police, Pritchett then pulled off the highway onto the shoulder of I-10 near Sealy, Texas. Seemingly with a change of heart, he told the women to get out of his car, telling them this is your only opportunity. One of the women said she tried to get her phone back but wasn't able to. Then Pritchett drove off, leaving them stranded on the side of the road at night. The women told police they spent more than an hour along the side of the highway before they were able to flag down a driver who called 911. But clues pieced together by investigators would help corroborate their story. One of the women had the Life 360 app on her phone, and screenshots, which included timestamps and the route they took, supported the victim's story of what happened. Pritchett was ID'd through his driver's license and social.
So that's what they're claiming kidnapping? Or this video's 15 minutes. I don't just want to jump to conclusions, but that's what they're saying is kidnapping? I mean, yeah, it is legally, but
social media pages. But when investigators reached out to him,
this is very unclear. It's very unclear.
Phone was no longer in service. Instead, they found out through TikTok that he was planning to move to Dubai.
I moved to Dubai. The people that's wondering. Feel so good out here. My kids, listen. So I'm having more kids, right? With my future wife, for sure. And Aiden, my kids are gonna be.
He's having more kids. So is he talking about Carmen? Cause they was married, I thought, and then I thought they broke up or something. She was trying to expose him. I don't really know. I didn't keep up with none of that.
Homeschool, bro. It's getting real wicked in the United States. A lot of y'all not paying attention because a lot of y'all sleep, and the news outlets are not speaking on a lot of that's going on there. It's gonna get real over there. Y'all might think I'm lying. Y'all might think I'm just talking. Y'all seen other people probably saying it, but you know people don't believe until the shit hit the fan. That's one thing I noticed about most people in the United States. They want to party, live life, until it hit the fan. When it hit the fan, then everybody, oh, they want to scatter. No.
But according to the FBI, they confirmed Pritchett bought a one-way ticket to Qatar on December 9th. A little more than 2 weeks later after buying that one-way plane ticket, Pritchett was officially charged on December 26th with 1 count of aggravated kidnapping.
I want to give a huge thanks to you, our viewers, and...
See, he's not going to do no time behind this for real, bro.
Our amazing sponsors like Upside.
I don't know the difference for real between aggravated kidnapping and just regular kidnapping. I low-key want to assume aggravated. It sounds worse, but I low-key assume it's like not.
Upside
is
a super cool and free app.
Because you got to think about it. I mean, I don't know. I'm sure it's probably equivalent. They're probably just adding aggravated. I don't know. But regardless, that nigga said if well, he's getting charged with it. He said he was gonna kill him, fuck him, and kill him, and he was on the phone and said right now would be a good time. Ain't looking too good. No. If you ain't hit that like and subscribe button and turn on post notifications, slap the dog shit about yourself, because that's the first thing you should have did when you clicked on this video. I just had to let y'all know about my other endeavors, because a lot of y'all don't know. For one, here goes all my social medias. Make sure you guys follow me to stay updated on what I got going on with YouTube and outside of YouTube. Speaking of outside of YouTube, make sure you subscribe to more TYP Cam. On this channel, I give you guys an inside look of my life and chop game on various different levels. I also make music.
I can't believe I lost my channel. They don't want to see me win. I ain't tripping off no clouds. Just want this chicken for my kin. Plus my little nephew sister out here homeless once again.
So make sure you subscribe to TYP Cam Music for all music related content. Last but not least, my merch. I recently came out with a positive design that anyone would love. Dreams to reality. This shit is literally a physical positive affirmation. We all have dreams that we want to accomplish. Why not join the movement and turn them to a reality? You can go to typcam.com/merch to shop all designs and apparel. typcam.com is my official website where you can find any and everything that has to do with me, such as uncensored videos, music, merch, literally everything, so give it a look. With all that being said, let's get back to the video.
But despite being charged with aggravated kidnapping, Pritchett still continues to post on social media. On January 4th, he posted an article from Houston news station KPRC, along with the caption, "Letter to the internet, it's finna be a ball. Let the show begin, #Houston, Texas. Let me show you how to take monsters down the #smooth way. You see it says accused, right? Don't worry, LOL. I'm finna give you the details on here and in the court of law. They gonna regret effing with me like I'm just some goofy or some. Oh, and I got the best lawyer in Houston." A day later, he posted a video with the victims as they were ATV riding. That video was captioned tagging Houston PD as he wrote in part, "We have a case here of popular YouTuber CoreySSG kidnapping 2 white girls, and he's currently on the run in Dubai, I think. IDK, but yeah, the FBI should be after him." A pretty wild case that is now ranging across 2 completely different countries that are thousands of miles away from one another. So let's bring on retired FBI agent Colin Schmidt to get his thoughts on this. Colin, thank you so much for joining me today. What is your reaction to this case, from Pritchett's alleged erratic behavior to trapping these 2 women allegedly in his car and leaving them stranded on the side of the road?
So he forced them to get in the car. I'm gonna have to run this back, bro. We at 6:42. he forced them to get this is not clear, this is just one little video. Nobody was there. I wasn't, so I don't know what exactly happened, but if I recall, they needed a ride, didn't they?
Later fleeing off to Qatar.
I don't know, bro.
Well, I think the first thing for investigators is kind of look at the totality of the circumstances and look at the big picture, as well as look at credibility of who the complainants are, as well as what's really going on here between these two people. And that's based upon the recent instances of YouTubers or bloggers or social media influencers faking their own kidnappings. So to prevent a waste of resources, they have to just take a step back and kind of look at the big picture. And then, of course, if there is some merit to this, then they're going to have to kind of dig in and find out exactly what really went on between these two.
And investigators also say that, GPS data from Life 360, which was an app that was on one of the women's phones, that helped corroborate.
I mean, that only says so much, though. Like, he ended up dropping them off. He didn't harm them. They needed a ride. There's no telling what they was really planning to do. He probably did want to fuck them, and they probably didn't want to fuck. And I don't know. And so he dropped them off. Just left them on the side of the road. Get the fuck out of here. Just shooting in the air. Maybe he can be going through a mental episode. He was. And he's shooting. I don't know.
Fast.
This is weird. I don't want to just to be on no side. I don't want to say he's guilty or anything yet, because this is just kind of weird.
Corey, talk to me about how investigators use that type of data to kind of piece together or at least verify these types of allegations.
Well, in this case, the victim made it easy for law enforcement to track her because they did have the Life 360 app on there. I'm familiar with the app. It's fantastic.
What I'm saying is about this Life 360 shit is they could have been on the way to do something, right? Or whatever. And she claiming that they was supposed to go to the house. But whole time that may not even have been the case. And her Life 360 could say is going to show wherever the hell she ended up going. They ended up going. So there can be truth to that, and there may not also be truth to that,
Fantastic. And I have used it with my kids as well. So if that wasn't on there, the first step with all these cases, and even if it's a bank robbery or a fraud case, is going to be the phones, and to look in to see if there's any GPS data, tracking data in that phone to find out and to corroborate what
that only tells so much, though, bro. If you ask me. That can only tell
the victim is saying that
that could show where they're at, but that does not determine whether or not when they hopped in that car if the destination was their house or not. How the fuck did they get to the grocery store? So they took a Uber to the grocery store and didn't get one back, and they don't want nothing to do with this nigga, or they didn't want at the time they wanted something to do with him, but they told him to go do what he needed to do if they got a problem in the bowling alley. So outside of that, it wasn't really no problem with the nigga.
Did.
Yeah, and it's also, unclear right now, but from what we do know now, do you think the erratic behavior on Pritchett's behalf might have been someone actually after him, as he had told these women allegedly, or do you think there's another reason, possibly like drugs, that kind of made him act erratically during this whole incident?
Well, with the limited information, available, you'd be speculating on why he was acting so erratic. So when somebody's acting erratic, there's a catalyst or some sort of antecedent that make them do that. So either it's something internal or external, and that's one thing that's going to come out, so to speak, in the wash as the investigators do their investigation and start talking to people and find out why he was behaving in such an odd manner. And then the fact that he fled to Qatar, which is kind of an unusual country to go to, because of it, I doubt he speaks Arabic. Does he have some sort of connection to that country?
I don't know what Qatar looks like, so I can't really speak on that. But I'm just gonna say, like, why nigga can't he didn't get a round trip, which is very suspicious. I'm not saying it's not, but I don't know. The nigga could have just wanted to go. You feel me? I'm not trying to be on this nigga's side or nothing, but I just don't know, bro.
Yeah, and I was also, going to ask you what your thoughts are on him fleeing to Qatar. What all goes into extraditing a kidnapping suspect? And in your opinion, how long do you think it'll take before he's actually back in the United States?
How do y'all know he's even in Qatar? Y'all say he booked a flight, but how do y'all know he's out there though?
Well, first thing is, if we have extradition with Qatar, I'm not aware whether we do or don't for that particular crime, because extradition is crime specific. Some crimes are extraditable, some aren't. And then the extradition process is generally very long, and it takes at least a year to 2 years.
Yeah, man, he's not really gonna do no time or nothing like that behind this, bro. It's gonna hurt his image more than anything, If you ask me, I don't think he's really going to do no time like this. They ended up getting dropped off unharmed. The most he did was scare him. Like, am I sounding like this isn't like a big, like, am I not making this a big deal or something? Am I tripping? Cause of how I see this, like be real though. They got dropped off on the side of the road unharmed. She lost her phone, maybe theft. He's not gonna do time for this shit, bro. They needed a ride. I'm about to run it back. Fuck it. Right now. We at 9:50.
Pritchett. They did some pretty harmless activities like working out, ATV riding, then bowling. But it was at the bowling alley where things took an intense turn. While there, the two women felt like something was off when Pritchett and his two friends started acting strange. The women told police they were repeatedly looking around, seemed on edge, and were acting suspicious. The unnamed women told police they learned Pritchett and his friends were having issues with another group that was there at the bowling alley. So they report.
I just want to say this. A 3 nigga to 2 female ratio. Why is those females in that predicament? A lot of females don't do that. They not doing that.
Really told
unless
Pritchett
they're comfortable. You ain't just going out to the bowling alley outnumbered.
And his friends were having issues with another group that was there at the bowling alley. So they reportedly told Pritchett if he continued acting that way, he should just leave with his friends. Pritchett in turn stepped out with his friends, but never returned, leaving the women behind. After some time, the women texted him because they left their stuff in his car. So he asked them to meet at the H-E-B grocery store parking lot to get their stuff back. When the two women showed up.
How far is the H-E-B grocery store from the bowling alley? Did they walk over there?
He switched gears.
How did they get to the bowling alley? Did they ride with Corey and his 2 other friends? There's a lot we don't know.
And offered to drive.
I'm sure it's came out by now. I'm not doing all that fucking research. I'm not.
Them home, and they said yes. But when the two women showed up, he switched gears and offered to grocery store parking lot to get their stuff back.
Okay.
When the two women showed up, he switched gears and offered to drive them home, and they said.
Where's this offering to drive them home coming from? He switched gears. See, they painting a picture, bro. That's not the full details, bro. He just switched gears. They get there, they meeting up to get the phone, switch gears, and he's offering to take them home, not forcing them to take them home. There's something we don't know about, man. It's just that simple, bro. We're going back to 950.
Generally, what the authorities do is they just have the extradition process is generally very long, and it takes at least a year to 2 years. Generally, what the authorities do is they just have the country expel or deport the person that's there. It's a much faster process, unless the person has some sort of citizenship with that country. And I doubt this gentleman has any citizenship with Qatar.
Nigga, how do you know that?
And do you think that trip was planned?
Nigga, how do you know? You don't know what the fuck people got going on. I doubt. Get the fuck out of here.
And this whole time, or do you think he kind of did it as an escape to escape? That trip was planned this whole time, or do you think he kind of did it as an escape to escape those now criminal charges that he's facing? Because I can't imagine, leaving your children behind to go start a new life in a completely
They
different
with the baby mama. When he broke up or they got divorced, whatever the fuck happened with his baby mama, she took the kids, like always. Like, be real. Come on. She got the kids.
And just, leave them behind in Texas.
I don't even see this nigga like fleeing the country for this shit, bro, is not that big of a deal, bro. It's just not. Like, yeah, some kidnapping charges. Those are some serious charges, bro, but I don't see him doing time behind this, bro. If any, it's gonna be little time, if anything. That's how I feel, bro.
Well, if he was going to Mexico, I would say there wasn't a lot of thought put into it because obviously it's just right over the border.
What does he need to just run? Them women did not die. He did not rape them. They're not claiming that he raped them. What does he need to just run and start a new life for?
I mean, have to fly through
I'm
an
not
international hub,
understanding,
whether
man.
it be Houston or Los Angeles or New York, and then make a couple of connections to get to Qatar. So, and then, of course, the flight
How
itself
is he going to
pretty
make it? He depends solely on YouTube ad revenue. I don't know what else he got going on in his life. I'm sure he has other shit, but it's coming from his channel, though.
expensive, and then there's going to be some.
He's just going to abandon the YouTube. Clearly, he ain't done that.
Scrutiny on him on when he lands through the authorities there in Qatar. So there had to be some sort of planning to go into it because, like I said, he's just not driving his car over the border going down to Mexicali. He's going to a foreign country, and it's approximately an 18-hour flight.
Yeah, and booking that one-way ticket as well, too. I can't even imagine kind of going back to this alleged crime as well. Can't imagine what it was like for these two women who were stranded on that highway until they were able to flag down a driver who eventually called 911 and then authorities.
A random driver. I mean, what high was it? Some country highway? One-lane highway off in the country?
Arrived as well too, but kind of going back to the overall alleged offense in this case,
just to go hop in a car with a random person after you got kidnapped by somebody you do know. I mean, strangers are kind of nicer, but not always. They could have walked into another trap.
What do you kind of make of just leaving two women stranded on a highway and then just again fleeing off to a completely different country?
Well, that tells me that there wasn't much thought put into this. It sounds more like this was an impulse crime. He was reacting to some sort of something maybe the women had done to him.
Yeah, he forced them to take him home. He flipped the script and he flipped the script and can I take you home? Like what back to his house? To their house? That was allegedly what the thing was, because like 360, like you said, wasn't going to your house. It just don't make sense, bro.
Or vice versa. And this was reaction, and he didn't think it through.
I'm not saying nothing didn't happen. I'm sure he might have been through a mental health episode. We all go through them. He could have crashed out. He might have really done this. But think about it, if he really done it. Yeah, some lame, goofy shit, bro. He's not gonna do no time, bro. Let's just be real. Going to Qatar, he's not going. He gonna turn himself back in, if anything. Like, it's just, I don't see it.
True, and then I think finally it kind of dawned on him that what he had done is basically going to land him in jail, and he essentially panicked. Kicked him out or put him on the side of the road, and then obviously left the country. So he's definitely has a lot going on inside his head, and this case is only going to probably get stranger as the investigators dig in.
Yeah, and you mentioned something earlier in our discussion.
I'm curious to see where it keep going.
Social media persona, which is kind of another added layer to this whole entire story. Pritchett has a millions of followers across different social media platforms. But then you tack on this alleged behavior and this alleged or this crime as well too. What do you make of all of that, given that he was this kind of apparent rise on social media, and then he got kind of famous as well too?
Bro, this is the thing about these family channel niggas and shit. They all failed. They all crashed. Besides DNB Nation, they still doing their thing. You know why? Because they really locked in together for the most part. Through all these years, bro, they still locked in doing their thing, bro. Getting to the bag together. Everybody else, bro, is and whenever you're doing vlogs, you're doing family channel, your kids grow up, things change. You fall out with your girl. You can't do the same shit no more. How he go from a family, CJ so cool, how he go from, because they fell out. Those ain't his fucking kids. Like, come on, man. So the content has to change. They end up not being the same person they was. They lose themselves. They're not as happy as they was. They're not making as much money. Things are not the fucking same. It's that simple, bro.
Doing family content, and then for this to kind of come out, what do you make of just kind of that Jekyll and Hyde situation that we're kind of seeing all unfold?
Well, that's from where I started with this, that because of his social media presence, law enforcement was going to have to kind of dig in and kind of determine what the motive behind this was. Maybe he had no intent of harming these women. He was just doing this for the classic clicks, or like I said, he had something going on in his life that made him panic. But it seems like there's such in society, and there's such a intense pressure to get quote unquote clicks, that we see these social media people doing some amazingly.
He did this for clicks. This nigga, I don't like this nigga right here. Don't know what the hell he talking about. He just
abhorrent thing.
He just working his job, man. At Long Crime Network.
And frankly,
shouts out to Law
Crime, law enforcement and the society.
Boy, y'all hella consistent. I wish I could be that consistent, but.
Is really kind of getting tired of it, and the hammer is starting to fall on these people for their behaviors.
Now, say Pritchett makes it back to the United States, he's facing this kidnapping charge. How long of a potential sentence or punishment do you think that he could be facing now?
Well, if the federal authorities get involved, I believe you could get up to life in prison for kidnapping. So, depending on the circumstances, and if it's provable,
he didn't rape them. He didn't harm them. He offered them a ride, bro. Let's like, come on. Max 10 ahead, bro. 20. Y'all think he gonna do 20, bro? No. Y'all think he gonna do 10? No, I don't.
In this case, he didn't take the victims over state lines, so there's an argument that it's not a federal crime. However, there is a kidnapping statute in Texas. So, and Texas has a pretty aggressive
he'll get
law enforcement
probation or something, bro. He's
culture
not doing
there.
Time for this,
so
bro.
he's going to be facing some jail time if it turns out that this was legitimate kidnapping, and these women are willing to testify.
All right. Well, Colin, I want to thank you so much for joining me and giving me insight into this case. Before we sign you off, though, anything else you'd like to add?
I think it just comes, like I said, full circle about all this social media clicking nonsense, and it's really gotten out of hand.
Social media clicking nonsense. Your job is the same fucking shit, even though it's a damn TV net. I don't even know if this is a real TV network or not, Long Crime, but regardless, bro, it's the same shit. It's just a different fashion. It's the new fashion, and your job relies on them clicks.
And I think it's long past time for authorities to start cracking down, because people are getting harmed.
All right, Colin, again, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a great day.
According to reports, law enforcement is making an effort to bring Corey Pritchett Jr. back to the United States. In one of his latest Instagram posts, Pritchett wrote he was back on the way to the U.S. because he had a meeting in Houston. That post was followed by another with the caption, "See y'all when I get out. Crazy, everybody want to see me behind bars for accusations I didn't do. I know God got me. Love all my supporters. They can't keep me down." Reporting for Law and Crime.
Y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Like I said, bro, I don't see him. That might have happened. It might not have happened or went anything like that, bro. You know, the full story, nobody was ever there. Nobody was there, so we don't really know what happened. But based off this fucking video right here, I can see flaws in it and things that needs more explaining, you know. Cause how he just flipped the script and he's offering, not forcing. He didn't flip the script and force them. He flipped the script and offered. That's literally what the bitch said. Excuse my French. I don't mean to call you that. I don't know. You're good. You're a good woman. You know what I'm saying? Outside. But let's be real, bro. Y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments, man. I done enough. I can give y'all my full reaction, man. TYP the name. If you made it to the end of this video and you bored, check out this video to the left or check out my music to the right. Just drop some new shit all platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, all that good shit. I'll get at y'all in the next one, man. I'm gone. TYP the name.
TYP the name, you know that this the way of life. I ain't never raped the gang, but I feel like gang tie. I've been really pushing P, put the P in TYP, that nigga.